abroad. According to the federal government of Nigeria, they have expressed concern that many individuals tarnishing the country's reputation abroad are foreigners that are using Nigerian identities. Now, they have come up with a solution to this. To address this, the government has planned to harmonize the citizenship database to enhance identity management and verification globally. Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, Minister of Interior, emphasized the importance of unified individual and corporate identity management to combat identity fraud, money laundering, and terrorism financing. The government aims to establish a centralized system for real-time verification of Nigerian-issued documents nationwide. So, at a workshop that was organized by the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa, officials highlighted the need for regional cooperation to fight terrorism, financing, and all of that. But let's look at the solution that has been stated now. What do you think about this particular solution to people or foreigners who are using Nigerian identity to perpetrate, should I say, crime or fraud?
So what have you done to those foreigners since you know them?
You mean who now?
I'm asking the person who is speaking. You know, though he's entitled to his opinion anyway, but sometimes when you bring issues that looks diversionary on what Nigerians are going through, it seems as if Nigerians are taken for a joke. Because if you want to talk about the present situation that we are in, does it has anything to do with how they see us, the image of Nigeria, or it has to do with what we can offer? Countries that even have Talibans are even striving. That is, they know them as a terrorist nation. They have terrorist group in that country. They are making progress.
It doesn't mean that a bad name is good for any country.
We are not talking about a bad name. What we are saying here is that we are living, chasing what I do not, instead of chasing cow, we are chasing rabbits.
How about the unified identity?
The issue of unified identity is a repeated story. Like I said, each person that is given appointment in government, what our brain tells us first is revenue generation. What happens to the NIM? What happens to voters card? What happens to national identity card, right? So I think we have, I don't want to talk about international passport because only when you want to travel you can resort to that. But there are several, you know, identification exercises that government have introduced on Nigerians, and unfortunately they are not free. We do census, you know, not going back to the issue of we talked about the issue of flooding. When you want to take care of statistics, we are village-oriented people. We have communities. So we know who and who is in our community. So even getting data is not a problem. So I want to feel that the time we are in is a time that every international community is looking for what you can offer. The entrepreneurs, the industrialists, the companies that are leaving Nigeria are not leaving Nigeria because Nigerians have bad name. They are leaving Nigeria because of insecurity. They are leaving Nigeria because the taxation is not helpful. The environment is not conducive for business. It's not what they heard outside. They are here. So I want to encourage that the issue of foreigners spoiling Nigerian name is good for our image, so that at least Americans will now understand that Nigerians were actually good people. Even when
the solution is good for our image.
No, what he's saying is good for our image now, but does it change the reality? As we are watching AIT, NTA, Atlantic Television, do they think that those who are in America don't have access to it? So when you are showcasing the criminals you catch in your country, think they are not watching. So it's not by what you say. So I feel that the issue of a crime is something that every nation is battling with. So it's not about foreigners spoiling our image. Yes, I equally want to encourage that if there are foreigners spoiling our image, they should ensure there is a provision of the law that can, take care of those things.
Right,
so
Ambassador.
I see him as a good image maker for Nigeria. But I think don't come up with any solution that will, cause more pains to Nigeria in the name of suggesting how to create what do you call it, identification mood. How many do we have already?
Mufasa, brother Mufasa, according to Ambassador. Yes, comment on this one.
I quite agree with most of the things he said. I really do not believe that foreigners are the ones spoiling the image of this country. In fact, Nigerians are the ones destroying our image. We're not just spoiling the image of this country. We are destroying the image of the country. And the perpetrators are not just people you see on the streets, are not just the criminals that you arrest on the streets. Our leaders, corrupt politicians. They should first of all remove the log in their eyes before going to, removing what they call it, the speck, or what they call it in someone's eyes. The corrupt politicians who are not satisfied with what they have, who are avaricious, who have engaged themselves in rapacious looting of our commonwealth. Like you said, it's there in the public. All the medium of communication.
But that doesn't take away what has been identified as a problem.
It is not
foreigners using our identity.
That is why I'm telling you that is not correct.
Oh, you think there's no truth in that?
I know. It's not something to think about. I've been around for a very long time. It's not something to think about.
This is something that's happening abroad.
Look at me. Can you please look at me?
That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing since you sat down here.
There's what they call Yahoo, advanced free fraud, 419 or what you call it. We have lots of Nigerians who pretend to be foreigners, defrauding people in Europe and America. Have you talked about that? We are talking about politicians who steal money, go to Europe and America to invest the money there, keep the money in their banks. So what more could damage the image of a country other than these things that I just mentioned? They're talking about unified this and that and identity. We have a whole lot that is not working because they don't want it to work. We have the NIN, we have the BVN, we have a whole lot of it is not working because they don't want it to work. Because if it works, it's going to reduce the amount of money that they steal on the daily.
So if you say it's not working, what is wrong with trying something new?
There's nothing new to try.
The unified system.
Is that
not going to be a new thing?
See, I said, look at me. What are you unifying now? What is it they are unifying?
Our identity.
We don't have identity in this country. When was the last time we did this? You must have a functional database. Today they say we are 200 million, tomorrow they say we are 188 million. We don't even know how many we are in this country.
Is this not going to help solve that problem?
Well, if you want to build a house, there are processes that you follow. You first of all consult your designer, your architect, and you start with the foundation. You cannot place something on nothing and expect it to stand. I believe this is their usual rhetorics. The street parlance, they call it bobo juice. Perhaps there was an occasion and the Minister for Interior needed to speak, and they know how to talk in their usual highfalutin, they know how to talk.
All right.
The average Nigerian politician knows how to talk, how to mesmerize the people. But my sister, there is no sincerity of purpose and intention.
Thank you so much, Brother Mufasa, on that one. Ambassador, it looks like you wanted to put in 30 seconds, please.
My question is, even the data that you assume to be correct, whether 190 or 200 million.
No, I said it's not. I said it's not stable. It's not correct.
It's a rhetoric question. Even if it's 190 million or 200 million, how have you now helped the 200 million or 190 people data that you now have? If that one is even the one you have, and then you say, okay, we are taking good care of the 200 million people. So because we don't have a correct data, So we can only take care of these 200 million people. Even the 200 million people, you have not taken care of 20 million people. So you are asking for more data. Do you want to sell the data? You know, what do you want to do business with it?
They want to use as a means to generate.
And because the ones you have, there's no impact on the people. You are calling for more data. Is there a business that they use that data to do?
All right, Ambassador, we'll probably get to find out.
I feel that all these things are not necessary.